What is up YouTube? Bunnyfilms here with a brand new video, and today we are back in Farming and Friends with an update to our cocoa farm. So in our last video we built all of this. We got 32 cows, we got a cocoa field, a cocoa factory, or chocolate milk factory, excuse me, and a bunch of vehicles. But I've received some very helpful comments from some very experienced players that we're going to use to make improvements to our setup. That way we can be more efficient. And if you do have any suggestions for what I am about to build in this video, feel free to leave it in the comment section. I'm always reading my comments. But for a quick overview, let's take a look at our farm to get an idea of what we currently have in case you missed the last video. Right now we have a cocoa field. This, I believe, is 280 cocoa trees right here. Next up, we have 4 barns. Imagine there's one right here. I moved it, but imagine there's 4 barns. Each one holds 8 cows, so 32 cows in total. And I'll explain why I split up the fields later on. And then back here, experiments. I'll explain those later on as well. And then here we have our chocolate milk factory. So, why am I making chocolate milk? It's a very good way to make money in the game, but here we have the ingredients. You need 25 cocoa and 10 milk to make chocolate milk. And all you need is this factory here to actually make it. But getting the ingredients is a completely different story though, because you need cows, you need to feed the cows, you need barns, I think, to milk the cows. And then you also need a cocoa field, but then with the cocoa field you also need the cocoa harvester, and then you also need a liquid trailer to transport the milk to the factory. So, it seems simple to make, but there are a lot of things that you have to buy, so you need some sort of money to get started with this. So heading over to the back of our farm where we have 2 barns, I want to explain the first improvement that we're going to make, because I received a very helpful comment from Alpha1801 who said that we can use the automatic wood, or the automatic wooden craftsman barn. I think it's this one right here, and we don't actually need to put a fence around the area where the milk gets deposited. So let me show you really quickly. There are 2 automatic barns, and the difference between the automatic barn and the regular barn is that when you collect milk from the automatic barn, instead of the jugs appearing in front of the animal stall, they'll actually appear in this little loading area. If you have a truck there, it'll automatically get deposited into that. And there are only 2 automatic barns in the game that you can buy. You have this more expensive one here, and then you have this lesser expensive one here. So for this to work, we have to buy the more expensive one for 64,000 coins. This is the automatic wooden barn, whereas the one we currently have is the automatic craftsman barn, which is only 50,000 coins. But what this lets us do is if we go to fences, we're going to go get the cheapest fence because we don't care about aesthetics right now, and we can put this fence around the barn to simulate an enclosure for the cows. But what's nice is that we can slide the fence so that the deposit area is outside the fence, and then we don't need to open a gate every single time we want to collect the milk. So that's one of the things we're going to be changing in this video, is that we're going to be upgrading all of the barns, but that does also involve moving the cows to a separate pen while we destroy theirs and replace it. And then another helpful comment I received from a subscriber, badboyqb4ig, is that when you deposit free-range milk into the chocolate milk factory, it will actually count as 2 milk. So this counts regular milk. We have 110 out of 600, but if I were to put a jug of free-range milk into this little grate here, it'll actually increase this by 2 instead of just 1 like regular milk would. And in case you don't know, there are 3 different types of milk you can get in the game. There's spoiled milk, or sour, I think it's spoiled milk. It used to be sour milk, I think. I don't know, they might have changed it. But it's spoiled milk, regular milk, and free-range milk. And to get free-range milk, you need to have the happiness of the cow above 90%. And another helpful comment I received from several people is that the reason why some of these cows are a bit sad is because they haven't eaten. But after they eat, their happiness spikes up to above 90%, and then I think it gradually goes down, and then once they eat again, it'll go back up. So this cow here just needs to eat some of the food in the bins over here. So now that we've talked about some of the things we have to change, let's go ahead and actually do some building. The first step is building an enclosure for all of our animals to put them in the meantime. So let's respawn some of these thingamajigs in the way really quickly. Respawn and respawn. There we go. Hopefully they go to my garage. And next up, let's build a fence. I'm going to close the chat really quickly. And we're going to just build some temporary enclosures outside here. About, I think right here would fit enough. We'll go a little bit bigger. So we're just going to build 4 of these enclosures to put all of the cows into in the meantime until they have their new enclosure built. And now that we've built all of the enclosures, we can go ahead and move the cows. To do this, it's very simple. I think we have to open this gate first, and if we have our dog run over to us, we can actually herd more than 4 animals at once. So as you can see, if I click this cow, there's only 4 that I can herd at most, but if I click the doggy here, wait for it, there we go, we can actually herd up to 8. So that's all 8 in this enclosure here, so let's click them all really quickly. And then to move them, you just click the little lasso above this gate. It'll automatically open and they'll walk over there. We can even close the gate in the meantime, they'll still walk through it, same with this one. That way, that way they don't run away once they're done walking over there. And something you'll notice when you put all these cows into a small enclosure, they will have this little red icon appear above the cow. So that means they're bumping into other cows and they want more space. So if you see that for your cows, it will decrease their happiness, which leads to worse milk quality. So be sure to give your cows enough space. So next up, let's start by building the new barns. I'm trying to see, there's the move tool. Let's go ahead, we're going to take our one that we already own, and we're going to slide it over here, and these might take up a bit more space than the other barns, so we might have to make some adjustments to the field size. No. So let's go ahead, grab the barn that we already own, and we want to make sure that we give the cows a big enough field, so we're going to put this, I don't know why it's red, I think it's the hitbox, it's thinking it's hitting me. So we're going to put this barn here, and this should give the cows enough space to walk around and stuff. And then we're going to make sure that the little deposit thing is right here on the outside. Next up, we're going to build the wooden fence because, again, it's the cheapest fence in the game. We're going to put it all the way around the barn, like so. It's still red, but it should turn green any second now. Great. And it never hurts to give your cows a large enough field, so I think this should be enough space for them to walk around in. So this is what each enclosure is going to look like, except I will make some changes to where the feeder bins are located so that they're a bit more spread out. But we have that one placed there. Let's go ahead and grab our second barn really quickly, because we're going to make a total of 4. Where are they? Buildings, there we go. Automatic craftsman barn. We're going to go ahead and rotate this really quickly, and we're going to make sure that these are pretty much lined up like so. It's still red, unfortunately. There we go. So I think the hitboxes are very funky for this, unfortunately. But this is as close as the 2 barns can be, so we're going to place this here like that. There we go. Let's go ahead and get our fence really quickly. Go for the cheapest one. So because of this layout, there is a much larger gap between the 2 barns, unfortunately, so that does take up a lot of space. So I need to figure out if I'll actually be able to fit 4 barns here, because by the looks of things, I'm not going to be able to fit a 4th barn. So here are 3 of the barns so far. The 4th one I'm going to put right here. I'm going to respawn some of those vehicles. It's going to be a bit asymmetrical, unfortunately, but we have to move some of these cows because they are going to be in the way, and also some of them don't have any food to eat. So let's go ahead, we're going to get a wooden gate for them built about right here. I'm going to put the foods in the corner, sort of, I don't know. We're going to put a fence for each one so that they can walk in there. That way they have more room, they're more happy, and then by the time we want to start making chocolate milk, they are at 100%, or at least 90% happiness. So we're going to put the barn here. Because I think it was also hitting the hitbox of, I think, it might be one of the vehicles. I don't think it's the vehicle. I think it was the mansion it was hitting, or this barn. Oh yeah, it was hitting this barn hitbox. That's the best we could do, so it's not going to be perfect. But what we can do instead, hold on, we're going to go to fences. Wait for it. Where's my fence building? There we go. And let's see if we can actually build a decent fence here. I don't know if the game's going to like it or not, because, yeah, it's already red, and the mansion's in the way. So this is going to be a slightly smaller field. I hope this works, please. It'll be so convenient. Oh, it's green. It's so reassuring. So it's green, and we're going to put this right here. Hopefully the cows don't complain it's too small of an enclosure. I think it's a pretty decent size. But we're just going to build that there, and we're going to get the wooden gate built. I think we'll just put it right here. There we go. And then, of course, they need feeders, so let's go move some in here really quickly. So I sort of like the staggered design more because it saves space in between the barns, and that might actually save us space over here if we were to do that, but I'm just going to keep it like this for the time being. But the one thing I'm unsure of is if I'm going to be able to do anything with this cow, because it's stuck, and it also has my dog stuck. So I think I just have to rejoin the game. So we're back here and the cow is behaving now. So let's go ahead and get the new cow sent to its enclosure. There we go. Please walk over there. There we go. It's behaving now. And now that we have 8 cows in here, I think 2, 4, 6, 8, we can go ahead and move the remaining cows into their enclosures. And while they do their thing, let's go ahead and get ourselves some feeders properly built. Oh gosh, it bugged. So hopping into this camera mode, we can go ahead and take a look at our enclosures. So we have 3 of the barns here, and then you just have, you have that one out of line. But this is good because, well, the cows actually walked over there. That surprises me. But this is good because now we have all the cows separated into enclosures. And this is not completely necessary. You can have all your cows in one enclosure and that won't matter. What I like about this is that having 8 cows allows you to herd all 8 at once, so you don't have to keep track of which cows have been milked and which ones haven't. And hopefully having all these feeders spread out like so will keep the cows fed and happy instead of having them all clumped up together in the middle of the field here. So the next thing we are going to do is we are going to deploy all of our milk trucks to go ahead and be under the little area where the milk gets dropped out of for each barn. I have a total of 4 of these. We're just going to empty this one while we can. You don't necessarily have to own the truck. You can buy the trailer as well, and I think the trailers are actually better because they have a much bigger capacity. But what I like about these is that it's just easy to drive it without having to deal with a trailer behind your vehicle. So enough talking about milk. I'm sure you guys want to see some chocolate milk get made, so we will do that in just a moment. But we have a cocoa field here, which I'll show you guys really quickly. It's 280 cocoa trees, which, if you don't know, I think cocoa will regrow every 6 minutes. So once you harvest it, give it 6 minutes, and then you'll have more cocoa. Also, our truck is full. Our harvester is full, at least. And a few comments I've had on my other video asking questions about cocoa. You cannot harvest it with a regular harvester. You have to have this specific one, or else you cannot harvest it from the trees. You also have to wait until the tree is fully grown, and then it will produce cocoa. You don't have to chop it down once you get the cocoa. It'll automatically regrow. And it would be more efficient if we had a larger cocoa field, but I'm happy with the size we have right now. And maybe later on we can plant more trees, but just for the time being, we'll keep it as it is. So here are the total ingredients we have right now. Let's go ahead and make some chocolate milk. But this is the fun part where you just pull levers and things happen. So we got some bubbles in that vat there. We have this compressing the cocoa beans into whatever. And then you have this, some sort of like grinder thing that's like making it into a powder, I guess. And then you have this, which I think makes the chocolate milk. It like mixes it up. And then if we go outside, I think that's the final step, we have a truck full of chocolate milk. Now let's see how much we have, and then we can go sell it if it's a good price. So, oh, we only have 9. Oh wait, it's still making chocolate milk. Okay, hold on. So from this little dry run, we were able to get 13 jugs of chocolate milk, which isn't really that much, but once we actually start collecting milk from all of our cows and getting cocoa and trying to be as efficient as possible, we will be making a lot more chocolate milk. But we will be just doing this little batch here and selling it to see how much money we get, and then, oh, we can't go down there. We have to go down the other side, unfortunately, because it is blocked. And in case you missed one of the last updates, this semi-hauler, the liquid hauler 150 was added, which makes this the largest container that can hold liquid in the game. So this holds more than 3 times the capacity of the little milk trucks I have, the little white trucks parked by each barn. Holds 3 times the capacity as those, but this I think is good just for collecting chocolate milk. And every time you make chocolate milk, you don't necessarily have to go sell it unless you need the money. You can just wait for it to accumulate, and then you can sell it all in one big batch and see the millions of dollars roll in. So here we have the price here for chocolate milk. It's not that good. I think that's pretty red. It's at 18,061. That's very bad. But we're still going to sell it because I'm not really caring about the money. And it's not like I'm losing money. I'm just losing the option to make more money. So I guess I am losing money. But we're still able to sell it for 246,000 coins, which is pretty decent. That does recuperate pretty much nearly all of the losses we spent buying the new barns. That still doesn't count for all the other equipment that we had to buy, like all of the milk trucks, which was completely unnecessary, but I did it. The cows, the fences, the food, the cocoa trees, the cocoa harvester, and the container that holds the harvested cocoa. So that is it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, consider pressing the like button or subscribing. In the next video, we will be spending a lot more time on chocolate milk and actually making it and selling it. If you do have any suggestions for my setup, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I read all of my comments, and I highly appreciate the people who do give me tips for improving my farm, because I don't know everything in this game, I won't deny that, and I'm sure there are people out there that have some suggestions for making this farm even better. But other than that, thank you for watching, have a good day, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye!